Guys, Peter here from Oz Commercial Sewing Machines. Today I'd just like to bring you a little video on how to thread the ProSew PS-0303D. Now, this threading process will work for any 0303 machine, as they're all the same. This has just been branded by us as a ProSew machine. Okay, let's get started. Start here. This is our twin thread post that comes packaged with the machine. Now, I use the left one when I'm using for threading. The right hand one I use to put a second spool of to wind bobbins. The same die lot, same everything. You just because you can wind a bobbin on these things when you're actually sewing. Now we'll start here. Okay, we've got our roll of our spool of M20 spun polyester thread. Now we'll go up to our first thread guide up there. Okay, come from the back side through to the front side. Then we're going to follow that down to our first thread guide on the top of the machine. Okay, now on this particular thread guide, it depends on how slick your thread is and how much extra tension you need on it. As you can see, I've only gone through 2 holes. You come through the back of the first hole, come out this hole, go around to the back of that hole, and then come out again. And then we go down to our pre-tensioner, which we don't really use on this machine as such because there's no trimmer on it. Okay, so same thing again. We've got 2 holes. These 2 holes are both going to be used. We're going to come through the top one. Then we're going to go back around and go through the bottom one. And you have to make sure that you go between. I'll just come up here a bit. Okay, see there's 2 discs there. You have to go between those 2 discs. Now, some people get their thread down in behind there, but you have to make sure that it gets in between those 2 discs. Okay, now there's hardly any tension on those. I wouldn't worry about too much. That's fine. Okay, so after you've come out of that tension assembly down here, we go through this guide. Okay, because that then is going to guide us through to the main tension assembly here. Now, when you have your foot lifted, you can see the tension discs open and close there. You may be able to see that. Yep. Okay, so you do the threading with the foot up, or you can use your knee lift. Okay, just so that the thread goes in between these discs and not on the outside of them, because then that means that you won't have any tension. So then you come through the discs, you come up and you go behind the catch on this little spring here, up past that little catch. I'll just take this off here and give you a basic idea of what I mean. Okay, so after you come up, you go around, you catch the inside of that so that now you've got it. Then we go underneath this hook assembly here. I'll just pull up some tension here so that we've got no loose thread. Okay, so then you can see what's going on there. It goes underneath this. Now that actually goes up and down with the foot as well, so it gives you more tension spring. It gives you more distance between the spring, the take-up spring, and how much movement that's going to have to get down up to past this. Okay, now following the thread guides, you go through the next one, then come up right to left through the take-up lever. Now come to the other side, you're going to come out the take-up lever and then follow down to the next thread guide. Okay, and then following it down there's another thread guide. Then we go through, there's a little hole, that's the needle bar thread guide. You put it down through that hole. Then we're going to thread the needle. Now the needle on an industrial machine, most of the time, if not all the time, is going to be threaded. I'll just zoom in here a little. It's always going to be threaded left to right. Okay, you can see the cutout, that's the scarf, that's where the hook passes through to pick up the tail thread to make the loop, and which then creates the lock stitch. So once you get that threaded through the eye, you pull that back and you can bring up your bobbin thread. On this particular machine, you do bring up the bobbin thread as there's no auto trimmer or nothing like that. Okay, so I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.